took 10 to 15 seconds for her to disappear from the last time that her family had seen her playing in the arcade to looking away and back again, realizing she was missing. Today, I'm covering the case of Teekah Lewis, missing from the Tacoma, Washington area since January 23rd, 1999. This is a very requested case, and so I will go over it. I've heard the people, so let's start. Her family was at the New Frontier bowling alley that evening with Teekah, who was only 2 years old at the time. And while the family was bowling, they decided to let Teekah go ahead and play in the arcade. Now, everyone was keeping an eye on her because she was so little and the toys were so big, and also it was a very busy place at times. So during the time that Teekah was playing, one of the folks that was watching her turned away for about 10 to 15 seconds because they got distracted with something else that was happening. And then they turned around again and realized Teekah was no longer where she was. So her and several other family members went up in the area to go look for her and realized she was nowhere. She was not hidden in any of the toys. She was not in a big kid's gaming chair or anything. She was just gone. The crazy thing was, it wasn't like she was across the bowling alley from them. She was literally feet away from them. Her mother was only 6 feet away from her when she disappeared. That's crazy to me, to have your child within, a body's length of you and turn around for 2 seconds and then they've been gone. That's just crazy. Now, they got on it right away. So they made a loudspeaker announcement in the bowling alley where then the staff and all the patrons started looking everywhere for Teekah. Police showed up, including dogs, looking for her. They couldn't find her. Her scent just disappeared in the parking lot. Now, one thing to note was that they did find a pile of abandoned men's clothes by the area. They don't think that it has anything to do with it, but they have noted it in their files and still kind of, I guess, believe that it's maybe important of some sort. Now, it came to light that there was a suspicious person that was hanging around Teekah at the time, right before she disappeared. He was a man in his 30s with shoulder-length curly brown hair, a mustache, and a pockmarked face with a large nose. Now, they saw him get into a maroon or plum-colored Pontiac Grand Am, possibly late 1980s or early 90s model, with dark windows and a spoiler. And it was seen speeding away from the parking lot, but they don't quite know, was this the person? Another thing to note was that there was reports that a similar looking man had actually been in the area trying to lure children away from the bowling alley, claiming to be his dad, and attacked a small child in the male's bathroom and did some pretty horrible things to him as well. And then that same day that Teekah went missing, a man had attempted to abduct 2 children from a nearby park and had fled in a 95 blue Grand Am Pontiac. Since then, they really haven't been able to, get much more information or figure it out. Back in 2006, DNA tests ruled out a possible match with a Texas girl. In 2010, a park excavation search had found nothing that was suspicious apparently at the time, so they went and searched the park. And then in 2020, a witness who was 17 at the time recounted a man with a child and gave a solid description that matched earlier witnesses. So apparently this kid who was 17 had apparently seen a man, the suspicious man from the bowling alley, with a child that possibly looked like Teekah, and years later he recounted this story. I'm not quite sure why it took so long. I mean, there's a variety of different reasons, and I don't really care to speculate that much. but it's interesting to me that it took so long for that to come out, because maybe if it came out sooner, maybe this would be a different outcome, but we don't know. Washington State did actually pass the Teekah Lewis bill due to her disappearance, establishing a multi-agency task force to assist with missing and exploited children cases. So then that way, like the FBI and the City of Tacoma, or other agencies to help, track down those cases and those children. Every year, Teekah's family does hold a candlelight vigil on the day of her disappearance, just as a signal that they are still thinking about Teekah and that they really miss her and want to bring her home. If you have any information regarding the disappearance of Teekah Lewis, or if you think you have any information that could be her, possibly, because again, she was only 2 years old when she went missing, so there is a good possibility that she might not even know who she actually really is. You can contact the Tacoma Police Department at 253-287-4455. Please spread the word, and let's try to help Teekah's family find her and bring her back home safe.